Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video and for participating in our online event. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Jennifer Thompson and I am a mom. I've got two young kids, Josie and Jonah. I'm a wife to my husband Joel. I'm also a community pharmacist in rural Nova Scotia, and I'm an area manager and independent consultant with Arbonne International. So I'll be posting a few videos on this page, especially tailored to what you guys are interested in. But I wanted to start off by sharing a little bit about my story, about how I ended up as an Arbonne consultant. So how the heck did I end up doing this? Well, first of all, I just want to say that I didn't necessarily grow up thinking that I would one day be an Arbonne consultant. I'm your classic case of go to school, get good grades, get into a good university so I can get a good career. For me, it was healthcare. I really wanted to do something in the healthcare field that enabled me to help people on a regular basis. And then the plan was to have a family and live happily ever after, right? It would all be perfect. But shortly after I graduated from pharmacy school, I entered the workforce, and I was kind of pushed into a management role right away. It was pretty stressful, and I quickly realized that things weren't exactly all that I had hoped and dreamed they would be. I realized that I had to work for years and years to just pay off my student loan. My glamorous job in retail pharmacy left me working really long hours with no breaks, and sometimes I was feeling like I wasn't really even helping anyone, or nobody wanted my help. So shortly after I graduated from pharmacy school, I was introduced to this brand, Arbonne. Somebody gave me a sample pack, and I loved what I tried. I was your typical, like, buy whatever's off the shelf, whatever's cheapest, your Neutrogena, Aveeno, that kind of thing. And I didn't realize what I was missing, and I didn't realize how bad those products are for you, but I'll get into that as we go along. But I loved what I tried from this Arbonne lady, and I decided to host a party so that I could get a whole lot of Arbonne for a little bit of money. So at that point, I was asked about joining the business, and I politely declined because, after all, I am a pharmacist. I am not one of those people, right? I'm not really sure what I thought that or those people was, but I was definitely very closed off from doing something like this. I never pictured myself being a consultant for Arbonne in a million years. So I wasn't really open to learning any more about it. I just had my ideas of what it was, and just wanted to buy the products. And maybe that's where you are right now, and that's totally fine. I absolutely get it, because they're amazing products, and this might not be something you might never do in a million years, but I encourage you to be open-minded and learn more about it. So I like I said, I loved the product, and I joined as a preferred client, and we can talk about that more as we go along too. So I continued to purchase Arbonne off and on for myself for several years, and then things changed when I had kids. So my first baby was a little girl. I had Josie, and I was up late one night nursing her, and I was doing as young moms do nowadays. I had her feeding, and I was scrolling through the old Facebook, and something came up about a company using cancer-causing chemicals in their formulations, and it happened to be the company that we were using. It was the company that I was brought up with, and my sister was brought up with, and it was totally the norm. But yeah, this company was found to be using formaldehyde-donating preservatives, as well as some other chemicals that are known to cause cancer. And I couldn't believe it. So I started doing some research. I was like, well, this is going to be one of those crazy Facebook false news kind of things. And I started doing research, and sure enough, there are a serious lack of regulations as to what products can go on the shelf in Canada and in the US. So I was horrified that we had been using this stuff on my kid, and I biffed it all, got rid of all of the other products that we had been using, tear-free formulations. And then I remembered that the brand that I was using on myself, Arbonne, had a baby line, and I had never really even, didn't occur to me to try out the baby line yet. But I decided to look it up, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see what's in this brand. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised to find out that Arbonne abides by European standards, which means that in Europe, they have banned thousands of chemicals from their products. And in North America and Canada, they've only banned like a dozen or so chemicals. So in Europe, it's not okay to use these formulations. In Canada, it is for some reason. So I also learned that Arbonne, with their baby line, they all the products are dermatologist tested, allergy tested, pediatrician tested, allergy tested, dermatologist tested, pediatrician tested, and ophthalmologist tested. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good. We'll switch our stuff to the Arbonne brand. So I ordered it in, and we started using it. I started loving it. It worked well. It smelled great. There was no like tears or irritation from getting it in her eyes. So I started buying it and giving it to everyone. Like, I was buying it for baby shower gifts. I just wanted all my friends and family, everyone that I cared about, to start using this stuff on their babies rather than the other stuff that was known to have bad chemicals in it. So yeah, it's a 38-year-old company that abides by European standards. So we switched our line to the ABC line. And even then, when I started buying it for people and talking about it to everyone, it still didn't really even click for me that I should be selling it to people and trying to make some money off of that. I just really wanted to share these awesome products. So I did that for quite a while until I had baby number 2 on the way. So I was a mom of a less than 2-year-old. Josie wasn't yet 2. I was working 50 plus hours a week in retail pharmacy. I was on my feet all day. It was in the hot summer months. I joined when it was August. And I was 5 months pregnant with Jonah. So I was absolutely miserable doing what I was doing, and I just pictured it getting a whole lot worse with 2 kids on the go. So I knew that after I had Jonah, I wanted to return to work part-time, but I didn't know how I could go from a full-time pharmacist income to a part-time pharmacist income. So I decided to think about some other options of creating a supplemental income, something I could do on the side from home kind of thing. And the clear choice for me was Arbonne, because it was a brand that I already loved. We were already using it, and I was already recommending it to people. It was something that I really believed in. So I decided to put my ego aside and look at the compensation plan. And oh my God, I am so glad that I got to that point, because it really, really changed things for us. I had the intention of joining to make a couple $100 extra a month. Like, that was like the be all and end all with this whole plan. And that would make me feel less guilty about going back to work part-time, right? So that was my plan. Do Arbonne, make a couple $100 a month, go back to work part-time, and then like, that's it, right? But speaking of guilt, as a mom, I felt guilty about going back to work and having to send my kids to daycare, even though we had fantastic daycare options. But as a provider for my family, I also felt bad about wanting to spend more time at home with my kids. This is all like some crazy self-inflicted guilt stuff that was going on in my head. My headspace was certainly not as good back then as it is now. Mostly because of Arbonne, because I've been able to immerse myself in so many great learning opportunities, so many fantastic books that have helped me along the way. I've got to meet so many incredible, inspiring, positive people. So things have definitely changed for me that way too. But anyways, so at that point, my ultimate goal was to bring in $300 a month with Arbonne and help me and my family. But then something else started when I got started with Arbonne. So I was still 5 months pregnant. I still had a toddler at home. I was still working 50 plus hours a week. It was still freaking hot out and I was on my feet all day. But something changed. Once I joined, I started to get a little bit of a spring in my step. I started smiling more and feeling better on the inside. As I was changing our brand to Arbonne, and I'm talking like change everything, like skincare, deodorant, toothpaste, hair care, makeup, the whole shebang. Like this product is so amazing and the company is something that I believe in so much that whatever Arbonne has, I'm going to use that. I'm not going to use any other company. And that will be the case forever just because of the ethics of this company and the fantastic products that it comes with. But yeah, I changed our brand to Arbonne, and then I started receiving compliments from people like all over the place. And I think it was because not only was I using the products, but I also was feeling more in control of my life. I decided that I didn't want to work full time anymore, and this is what I was going to do to be able to make that happen. So it was starting to show on the outside. And then I mentioned like hanging around and learning from so many other like-minded people, and the positivity was starting to have quite an effect with me. I definitely had a shift in my energy, and while it wasn't super easy, I think I joined Arbonne exactly when I was supposed to. Because of being able to follow our super easy to follow system, and the support from the team that I joined, I very quickly promoted to the first level in management. So I earned that $300 a month when I was still on maternity leave. So very quickly into the whole Arbonne thing, I was making like my ultimate goal, right? And then I had some awesome people join my team, and I taught them how to do the exact same thing. And a lot of people come into this like, oh, I'm not going to do a whole lot with it, or yeah, like $300, wow, like if I could do that, that would be amazing. So that's how a lot of people get started. And then they realize that there's not as much to it as what you think. All these preconceived notions are kind of, we talk about them and we figure them out. So eventually I ended up reaching the next level of management, which averages about $1,500 a month. So what could you do with $1,500 a month? And I know there's stats out there that say $1,000 a month is like the threshold that can be absolutely life-changing for most people. So just kind of think about that. Because of Arbonne, with my income with Arbonne, I now only work a couple days a week outside of the house. I was even able to pay off my student loan a lot quicker than I was expecting to. I was able to upgrade our family to a bigger vehicle recently, and we're fortunate enough to have family vacations. Because of Arbonne, we don't go without. There's no sacrifice there from, wanting to spend more time with my family, going to part-time. Because of doing Arbonne on the side, we were able to do everything that we were able to do before. And because of Arbonne and the way that I've plugged into becoming like everything that comes with being a consultant, I've had the courage to ask for what I want in life, and that's very empowering. My goal is for anyone out there that is feeling trapped to know that they have options, and this could be one of them. So yes, I've surpassed my original goal of earning a couple $100 a month, but because of this growth that I've had within the company, my goals have also grown too. I've seen firsthand how it is possible to get to that VP level and earn that free Mercedes-Benz. So that's next on the list. I know how accomplished I felt when I reached the area manager level and was able to put my business in my will, which you don't see that with any other company that I know of. So I want to give that option to anyone who wants to do the same. There's bonuses that are available at every level. So it's not like you have to reach the top of the company to qualify for these bonuses. And I earn one of those cash bonuses almost every single month because it's so doable. So my ultimate goal is to reach the very top level of this company, which means I will have helped other people do the exact same thing to reach that level as well. So at this point, I will have the option to do whatever I want. I will be able to continue pharmacy if I want to, in whatever capacity that I want to, not because I have to. I'll be able to provide everything I want for my family and will be able to give back to my community. I see freedom and options for me and my family, but most importantly, for other people, for my team that I have now and for my future team, for anyone who chooses to join us on this journey. And yeah, so there's no ceiling on income with this company, and I'm just super proud to be part of it, if you can't tell. I'm especially grateful to you guys to be listening to me right now. So in my opinion, there's two things that you need to be successful in this business. Number one is you need to have an open mind, and number two, you need to have a giving heart. Because if I can do this, you can do this. So thank you so much for listening to my story. I look forward to hearing your comments and answering any questions you have. And stay tuned for future posts and fun product related videos, and maybe even an appearance from my little helpers. So thank you again for watching, and be sure to comment below to let me know that you've watched, and post any questions that you have there, any comments. Thank you very much.